The playoffs are here, and you can predict the action all the way to the finals with FanDuel Predicts. Predict the spread, the total points, and even the game-winning moments that make the playoffs. Sign up and get a $25 bonus with FanDuel Predicts.
Offered by FanDuel Prediction Markets, LLC, a registered futures commission merchant. 18-plus bonus is non-withdrawable and expires 7 days after receipt. Trading derivatives involves significant risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Manage your activity with their consumer protection tools. Restrictions apply. See terms at FanDuel.com/predicts/bonus-offer-terms.
The Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And the number to reach me live this hour, 800-848-9222. We have a lot to talk about. To those of you that doubt President Trump's influence over the Republican Party, look at what happened in Texas last night. He endorses Attorney General Ken Paxton, and what happened? Paxton trounced his rival, the incumbent Senator John Cornyn, by 27 points and will now face off against the Democratic candidate in the general election in November. Dominic Carter here with you, folks. The number to reach me right now, again, 800-848-9222. So, very interesting, an event today. AOC had on a hijab, and what the mayor of New York had on, I don't even know what to call it. It was some type of sports soccer event / Muslim. I don't know, outfit, that traditional garb that Muslim men wear sometimes. And I just find it funny. That's fine, Mom Donnie, but you didn't wear this stuff during the campaign, and so now you're doing this, that you're the mayor of New York City. But, of course, one of the big stories that we want to talk about right now, fired up, can't take it no more. A few thousand turned out outside Mom Donnie's residence, Gracie Mansion, just last night, protesting against the anti-Semitism that is occurring on his watch, on Mom Donnie's watch. Some will say turning a blind eye to it, and they were quite professional, giving praise where praise is due, praising the NYPD for keeping all of us safe. We see your calls coming in, 800-848-9222, some of the speakers from just last night.
And we tell Zora Mamdani, you can go back to Uganda, to where you came from. And you know what? I got to be honest. I was a little nervous to come here. I was a little nervous to come here today because it was only about 2 months ago when I was standing right over here and we were doing a peaceful protest against Islam. And over here to my left, all I heard was Allahu Allahu Akbar, and then this IED bomb landed at my feet. And I have to tell you, by the good grace of God, myself and all the NYPD officers that were behind me, we are here to live, to fight another day. The most important thing that you could do is come November.
And one of the speakers from just last night, you heard the chant of Deport Mom Donnie. This is just the beginning. As the organizers said, they're not going to take this anymore. 800-848-9222. As I said early this morning, the Midnight Show, the pressure will intensify on Mom Donnie, but also the person that's up for election this year, the governor of New York State, Kathy Hochul. Kathy Hochul is the only one that can remove Mom Donnie from office. And she's walking a very fine line. If Mom Donnie can't be punished, voters could ultimately decide that she's the target. That's the last thing that she needs right now with Bruce Blakeman right on her heels. 800-848-9222. The speakers, it went on, sounding like this.
What's up, New York City? Guys, I'm going to sleep well tonight knowing that all of you stand with us against this monster. They want to intimidate us. They want us to hide. They want us to back down, but we are here to tell them that we are not going anywhere. I cannot believe that my children, who are descendants of a survivor of Auschwitz, their great-grandmother walked out of the gates of hell, 73 pounds, came here to New York to build a better life for her family. And now her great-grandchildren are living in a city where children are being told that they need to leave school early because a Jewish preschool can't keep them safe from protesters. And our mayor says, this is okay. We're not going to stand for a mayor who calls his wife a private citizen, says it's okay for her to go on her liking sprees of all the pro-October 7th terror-supporting, pro-genocide of Jewish people content. We're not going to stand for it. We're not giving him a free pass. New York City is the most Jewish city outside of Israel in the entire world, and we are here to stay. I'm Israel High. God bless America. God bless New York City. Love you guys. I'm Israel High.
And so, the mayor of New York City, the socialist mayor of New York City, Mamdani, walking a fine line. He'll pretend like everything is okay, but we all know it's not okay, folks. 800-848-9222. We're about to start with your telephone calls. Let's see here. Let's go to Carmine. Line 2, Long Island. What's on your mind, Carmine?
Hey, Dominic, night after night, Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune, there's Democrat commercials, George Conway, Rebecca Bennett, Alex Boros. I'm a conservative Republican, and yet I know their agenda. I don't see one Republican commercial. I don't see Bruce Blakeman commercial for these midterms, Dominic. Where are all these Republicans?
Okay, wait. Carmine, you're all over the place. You're talking Blakeman, you're talking midterms. Which one do you want to focus on?
I want to know where the Republican commercials are on primetime TV.
Okay, when you say the Republican commercials, I need you to specify what exactly are you stating, and I'll tell you why in a second.
Okay, sure. Well, every night there's a Democrat, George Conway, that says Trump.
No, I got it, because he's a specific candidate in a specific race. That's why. That's why I said you have to specify. You can't just say, Carmine, you want to see Republican commercials. There has to be a candidate that's out there running. Blakeman, frankly, for lack of a better term, he would be a fool to advertise right now. Do you know why?
Tell me.
Because where does all this endless money come from? See, we got to think, Carmine, sometimes before we talk. He's got to pace himself. Just until recently, the Democrats tried to block him from getting matching funds. A judge had to overrule that, right? He can't just jump out the window and advertise because you want to see him advertise. And then what happens when it counts, when he's in the general election and there's no money left?
I appreciate you explaining that to me, Dominic, but I'm just watching. I know their agenda, and I'm not a Democrat. And I'm just wondering how millions and millions of people fall for this stuff. George Conway says that Trump is shredding
George Conway is running right now. I mean, Carmine, you do understand the difference, right?
So you're saying that they're wasting their money advertising too early?
What I'm saying to you is, if Bruce Blakeman went up on TV right now, he would be the biggest fool ever in New York. It would just be stupid. When you're a candidate, you've got to pace yourself. It's all about timing. He can't jump out the window, Carmine, to please you, and then he's going to be out of money. And then what?
All right, so we'll see what happens in September, Dominic. Maybe I'll call back.
I feel your pain. I understand your frustration. But that's why I asked you, you've got to be able to tell me specifically what are you talking about as it relates to what you want to see. So you're saying you just want to see a blanket ad based on Republicans, and who's going to pay for that? Carmine.
All I know is that a few months. Yeah, I'm here.
Go ahead.
Didn't we lose some primaries because we didn't advertise just recently, Dominic?
Hey, Carmine. Okay, I can't explain it to you any more direct than what I just did. When you're a candidate running, you've got to time yourself and pace yourself out. Bruce Blakeman, the name of the game right now for him is grassroots organization, not necessarily television commercials. Have you seen any from Kathy Hochul?
I haven't.
Oh, so what should that tell you, Carmine?
I just used him as an example. I'm just saying I never see a Republican commercial like ever, anytime, ever.
Well, I see Republican. I hear you. I hear you, Carmine. I've tried to explain it the best way that I can. Let me say this, folks. So back to Mom Donnie for a second. We see your calls coming in. So the issue of Ken Griffin, the business leader that he greatly offended, well, Mom Donnie's chasing him down now for a meeting, and guess what? Ken Griffin is not returning the calls. And I want you to listen to this double talk as Mom Donnie appeared on CNN and finally had to admit that he's being shunned.
So let's talk about tickets, though, because I know you're excited about the Knicks going to the finals.
I am.
Secondary market's already showing tickets at around $3,000 just to get in the door. Face value, it's around $1,500 if you can even get it. We were just chatting beforehand. I tried.
Okay, so that's Mom Donnie on the Knicks. We'll get back to that. I want you to hear him on Ken Griffin, which is soundbite number 7.
You know, and you talk about housing. You have met with a bunch of CEOs in the last several weeks after you announced that what's been described as a pied-à-terre tax on second homes of the city's wealthiest. You put out that ad, obviously, singling out the announcement that singled out the Citadel CEO, Ken Griffin. He later called that video, quote, creepy and weird. I know that your office and that you've reached out to him. Have you heard back from Ken Griffin?
You know, we've reached out to make it clear that I'm willing to meet with any and all business leaders across the city. And I think that's important because as the mayor of this city, I'm looking to ensure that I meet with anyone who is a part of this city's not just economy, but also our future. And what we've seen, whether it be Ken Griffin, whether it be Jamie Dimon, whether it be David Solomon, so many other business leaders across the city, is people who are creating jobs in the city and even at their level of employment, whose workforce still face the pressures of an affordability crisis. Because as you know, in New York City, you can be making 6 figures and you're still going to blink when you realize you have to pay $20,000 a year for childcare for a single child in this city. And so we are looking forward to partnering with anyone and anyone to deliver on a vision that will take care of everyone across these 5 boroughs.
But so have you heard back from him, or you have not?
Not as yet, but I'm going to continue to have these meetings to make it clear what our vision actually is for the city.
So notice how Mom Donnie tried to talk all around the issue without answering the question. And then on the follow-up, Caitlin Collins did what she was supposed to do. She didn't let him get away. He had to admit that he has egg on his face. It is time for a break. We are coming right back.
Adobe Firefly is the all-in-one creative studio with AI-powered image and video editing for today's creative process. Built for creators of every kind, Firefly helps you generate, edit, and experiment fast. Because the asks aren't getting smaller, the budgets aren't getting bigger, and the timelines, oh yeah, still tight. With all the best creative AI models in one place, Firefly brings your ideas to life. Unlock a better way to make with Adobe Firefly.
The Dominic Carter Show, entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
How do I wish that Councilwoman Vicky Palladino was my elected official. Boy, would I love that. Why? Why, Dominic? Why would you love it? I would love it because Vicky Palladino fights for her constituents. And she tells the truth, whether it's politically correct or not. In a moment, I'm going to Judith in Brooklyn, line 2. But I'm looking at a tweet from Councilwoman Palladino, and it shows AOC with the hijab on, right? It didn't used to bother me, but my tolerance is getting a little thin for seeing Democrat politician females wearing these hijabs. I remember Hochul had one on, now AOC. So AOC, what is it, respect for the Muslim community? Because, I mean, you tell us that you were from the hood in the Bronx, then you were from Westchester, and Mamdani in the background, I don't know if this is just a sports shirt, but anyway, here's why I love Councilwoman Palladino. I'm quoting, she says, "How is there yet another one of these holidays? I thought we just did this." And then it says AOC is wearing a hijab today for EID, whatever that means. Judith, line 2, Brooklyn. What's on your mind, Judith?
Hi, Dominic. You just played a clip of Mandami talking to the reporter, and what jumped out at me, and I wish I could hear it again because there were certain things he said the way he said it, but let me just say, Mandami has such arrogance and sheer nerve, his communist agenda. He attacks this Griffin man, the billionaire, targets him at his private residence. He doesn't apologize, and he talks there to Griffin. He talks about as though Griffin is his sucker, literally, and he has to do his Royal Highness bidding. If you play it again, you'll hear him. How dare he? The gall of him, this Mandani guy. The gall of him. Like, he thinks he's expecting Griffin to, absolutely, bow down to him and just give all the money over. And
a billionaire. He's expecting one of the richest men in the world to kiss his ring. It's not going to happen. That's why Griffin is not calling them back, Judith. And we are going to play that soundbite again, because my thing is this, Judith. I'll give you the final say. Okay, Mamdani, you want to give away World Cup tickets at a lottery, a discount price of $50 each. But that's not the dominant sport here in New York, Mamdani. We prefer the NFL, the NHL, Major League Baseball, and the NBA. Not the sport that you're telling us to like, that your people love more. Go ahead, Judith.
Well, you know what? You're right. He's pandering to his people and pandering to these Asian people that do like soccer. Like if his parents are Indian, Pakistani, whatever, and he's and his wife, whatever. Soccer is huge over there, okay? So he's
over there. Emphasis
people.
Over
yes.
there. Over there. Not here. Over there.
Absolutely. You know something? This AOC, she's pandering also with the hijab and whatever. They're so dishonest. And quite frankly, the more I think about a lot of these politicians, more I think they are completely insane. They're insane. They are. They're insane. They're not normal. They're not normal. Absolutely not. I really feel that way.
Well, the Democrat officials, they will do anything for a vote, whether it's a hijab, no matter what it is. And I get it. I understand why you're supposed to wear it. I get it. I'm getting a little sick and tired of this bending over backwards for one community. It's playing itself. Okay, I've got to take a break. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And if you want to know what's going wrong in our great country, all you have to do is look at what some of those on the left are stating. So MS Now, formerly MSNBC, formerly ratings failure, formerly never happening. You get the drift, right? So I care about you folks. I care about fellow Americans, period. But in particular, fellow Americans that are struggling. Watching or listening to MS Now and Joe Scarborough, right? You want to know what's wrong? Now, maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's you, Dominic. I don't have the sensitivity for migrants that illegals, whatever you want to call them, that some of my friends on the left have. I don't know Joe that well. I've worked with them 2 or 3 times, panel discussions. Seem kind of nerdy to me, to be honest with you. But that's a cheap shot, so maybe I shouldn't say that. But I want you to listen to this Crimea River about how he says migrants, him and his partner, now wife, how badly they're being treated.
100 men jammed into one room, no guards that will actually come in there. They're sharing maybe 1 or 2 filthy, backed up toilets. It's unbelievable. But Mika, I was getting to the point that you just made, which is a lot of people will say stupidly, oh, they're illegal. They get what they deserve. First of all, you don't know if they're here illegally. Secondly, the rules keep changing. Now we're going after people applying for green cards and saying now they have to be sent home, people that are in the application process. But I know the Constitution doesn't mean much to you if you are in the cult. I know it doesn't, because you've proven time and again the United States Constitution and constitutional norms don't matter to you. But none other than Antonin Scalia was asked the question, who does the United States apply to? And Scalia said, well, it applies to American citizens living in the United States. It applies to American citizens living all across the world. And Scalia, the godfather of conservative jurisprudence, said, and it applies to anybody that is in the United States of America. They are protected by constitutional rights. Those constitutional rights are being just torn to shreds every single day inside of these internment camps, and it's time that something be done.
So here's something you can do, Joe. Why don't you make the same passionate argument for Americans that are struggling? Maybe it's me, folks. Maybe it's me. Maybe I don't have the sensitivity. I'm being sarcastic. That I could care less. I care about Americans. Bottom line. End of story. 800-848-9222. I want to take a moment to divert for a second. We're going to get right back to your calls. Rose, Ginger, Joe, Mike, Bob. We'll get to your calls, back to your calls in just 1 second. But you go to any of my social media platforms, something interesting happens. 99% of the comments are positive. 99%. And then you look, and there's a common drum, a common theme every now and then. And you folks already know what I'm going to say. So because I support Trump, it's either Uncle Tom, Sambo, selling out your people. Now, 99% of the comments are positive. Certainly from the white community. From middle-class blacks, same thing. 99% of the comments are positive. It's the people with less than that they just want to say horrible things. And it used to bother me. It really did. But now it doesn't. And you know what I've found out, folks? Any successful black person that's about something, crabs in a barrel, it's always going to be your own kind trying to pull you back down. And the reason why I'm stating all of this, before I get to Mamdani, Stephen A. Smith deals with the same exact thing. And here's what Stephen A. Smith had to say on the issue.
Black people don't with you. You've betrayed your race. We don't want to with you. Cam, those people can never come back in my life. I'm going to look in that camera. They can go to hell. They can never come back. Because to know me, you know that cut deep. I almost lost my career because I look out. I cannot count the amount of times I've put my ass on the line for us. Think about it. The archives are there. Go back to the columns of the Philadelphia Inquirer. Go back to me on Fox Sports on the Best Damn Sports Show. Go back to me on ESPN and look at the shit that I've done. and the issues that I've been willing to tackle and the sacrifices, I could have shut up and got paid. Remember, everybody want to look at this contract. That contract was signed in 2025. I've been in the business since 1993. I've been repeatedly underpaid. Repeatedly, I had challenges. I got fired, dog. Fired. People look at me and they say, "Oh, he tight with the damn Sean Hannity." Sean Hannity and I being tight ain't got nothing to do with politics. It got everything to do with the fact that when everybody else had turned their back on me, that went to war. And it's like, no, that's my man. He ain't that person. What you talking about? Talk about the industry.
So in other words, to that 0.5%, stop being so darn stupid. Open your mind. Stop hating on others. Stop hating on others' success. Get up and do something. Don't complain. Any fool can complain. What are you doing to make things different, to make things better? We all know the answer. Absolutely nada. Okay, Mom Donnie, and then I'm going right back to your telephone calls. So he cuts this deal for soccer because his people love soccer. And when I say his people, I'm not talking about New Yorkers. We love football. We love basketball. We love hockey. We love baseball. So, Mom Donnie, asked by Channel 11, the same deal you did for World Cup, are you going to try and do the same thing for the NBA Finals with the New York Knicks?
So let's talk about tickets, though, because I know you're excited about the Knicks going to the finals.
I am.
Secondary market's already showing tickets at around $3,000 just to get in the door. Face value, it's around $1,500 if you can even get it. We were just chatting beforehand. I tried 5 minutes ago. I couldn't get a face value ticket. Will you do a similar thing you're doing with the World Cup to try and gather some face value tickets and give them to everyday New Yorkers who otherwise wouldn't be allowed to go, like you did with the World Cup?
You know, my belief is a universal belief around ticket prices, that sports should not become a luxury commodity. And sadly, we've seen that be the case across so many of the sports teams that we care about, including not just the World Cup, but yes, as you said, with the finals coming up for the first time since 1999 in our city. And so we're going to look at everything that we can do. I don't want to make a promise I can't keep, but this is something that I am very passionate about.
Don't stop now. Your entire campaign was about a promise you can't keep, Mom Donnie. Let's go to Rose, line 4 in Queens. Rose, what's on your mind?
Oh, hi. Well, I want to say I'm a Catholic, but there's nothing I like more than on the streets of New York City seeing people, whether they're Muslim or not, dressed in full Muslim garb, for no other reason than that it exposes the anti-Semites, the real anti-Semites against Semitic Islam. And the only thing I like more than that is seeing...
Meet Mr. Click. Stop calling me. Stop calling me with your nonsense. Rose, your call is not welcomed here. It's not. So stop doing it. Take your nuttiness somewhere else and go take your medication because you're embarrassing yourself. Let's go to Ginger, line 5, Staten Island. What's on your mind, Ginger? Ginger. Okay, Ginger's not there. Let's go to Mike, line 2, St. James. Mike, what's on your mind?
Hello, Dominic. One of the problems on these college campuses where certain students are harassing other students because of their religion, are these harassers, are they students themselves?
Oftentimes they are not. Sometimes they are. No matter how you slice it, it shouldn't be tolerated. If it was the Klan and the black community, the entire nation would be up in uproar and it would not be tolerated. So why is it tolerated, Mike, for Jewish students? It's not right. And that's why I speak out about this. It's not right. It's not the American way. So some of them are students, most of them are not. Many of them are professional agitators. Many of them are nuts looking for any cause to protest. And that's why I say, Mike, the dogs are just there, the police dogs, to make sure no one gets hurt. Oops, the officer fell. The dog ran away. He or she bit 20 protesters. I'm sorry. 800-848-9222. Let's go to Joe, line 4, New Jersey. What's on your mind, Joe?
Hi. Good afternoon, Dominic.
Hi.
Thank you for taking my...
I have to just say, I believe you're very incorrect in regards to the soccer. I'm a Brooklyn-born boy, and I love baseball, and I love football, and the NBA.
So wait, so you're telling me that soccer is more popular in New York than football or basketball or baseball or hockey? Is that what you're telling me, Joe?
How about this, Dominic?
Can you answer my question? Can you answer my question? Are you telling me that soccer is more popular than football, baseball, basketball, or hockey? Is that what you're telling me?
I am absolutely telling you that to some people, and like you just shot
to what people? To what people? To what people? That's the whole point. Come on. Obviously, you're not an athlete, because if you were an athlete, as I used to be, you would understand the answer to that question. Clearly, you're not an athlete, and that's why you hung up. You don't know what you're talking about. Let's go to Morty, line 5, New Jersey. What's on your mind, Morty?
Hey, Dominic. One thing is for sure, you know how to deal with these rancid callers. I got nothing better to do. Just call up your show. But number 2, that monologue that Stephen A. Smith did, that really, I had no idea that Sean Hannity went to war for him. That was really something to hear.
And you know what, Morty? That's oftentimes what happens, right? So just like Trump. Oh, he's a racist. Well, wait a minute. Trump was there for the black community. Trump was there for Jesse when Jesse needed money to open up his Operation Hope in New York. Trump was there when Nelson Mandela came to New York sending his aircraft. People are just downright ignorant. They see what they want to see. They hear what they want to hear. And I'm going to let you finish. And so that's my point. So Sean Hannity going to bat for Stephen A. Smith. You heard him say out of his own mouth, he almost lost his career. There would have been no Stephen A. Smith. But frankly, when you come to the nuts within your own community, they expect for you to be Joe Blackman and, walking around with an African dashiki on, arguing the point of Farrakhan every day. That's just not realistic, and it's stupid. And what about when you disagree with Farrakhan's anti-Semitism? Go ahead, Morty.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, and the other thing about it is that it was more or less just he did it because he expects Stephen to do the same thing for him. You don't see Sean Hannity or Stephen A. Smith going around saying, I owe this to Sean Hannity, and Sean Hannity says Stephen A. Smith owes this to me. It was just friends doing what friends do, and
exactly.
They keep it 100.
And you are 1,000% correct, Morty. There are some things that don't need to be said. So, for example, they call me a coon. These are uneducated people. Uncle Tom, they have no idea what I've done for the black community. I've done more for the black community in 1 year than these fools have ever done in their lifetime. So the point that you're making about Sean Hannity and Stephen A. Smith being boys, that's exactly the point. When it's real, you don't have to go around bragging about it every day. You simply do what you have to do. Morty, thank you for the great call. We see all the other callers. Stand by, folks. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to go to Peter in New Jersey. The number to reach me, Dominic Carter, right now, 800-848-9222, 848-9222.
The Dominic Carter Show, entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And the Tunnel to Towers Foundation final thoughts of the day. I'm all for inclusion, but I'm starting to get mighty sick of a certain group of people being thrown down all of our throats. I'll leave it at that. Back to your telephone calls. Let's go to Goldie in Brooklyn. Goldie, what's on your mind?
Mr. Carter, it is a pleasure to finally speak to you. I've tried so many times just to say, in a world where there is so much hatred, Jewish people all over the world, thank you for your support. It is so nasty out there. My boys walk to school. They wear their yarmulkes proudly. My nephew had his black hat. He had his bar mitzvah. He had his black hat knocked off his head. He was so proud of that hat. Just by a group of, I won't say what. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. But you know what? we've been around for a long time, the Jewish people. We're not going anywhere. We'll be here for many, many years to come. Just the senseless hatred that is out there for no good reason, it boggles my mind. And our mayor is not helping anything, let me tell you.
I agree with you, Goldie. Thank you for the very kind words, but I'm not doing anything special except for the right thing. We all have an obligation to stand up and speak out when we see wrong right in front of us. Thank you, though, for your wonderful words, and I'm sorry that happened to your son. Let's go to Peter, line 4, New Jersey. What's on your mind, Peter?
Hello, Dominic. Hey, you mentioned Louis Farrakhan. You're going to wind up like Malcolm X if you mess with him. Malcolm X was a great man. He opened up the eyes of the blacks.
I'm lost. Peter, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to wind up like, what? You got to get to the point. You're calling at the worst possible time when I got to move the show because we're down to the last minutes, and I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, let me get to my question. I'm calling
what do you mean I'm going to wound up like Malcolm X? I don't know what you mean. Are you threatening me? I don't know what you're saying.
You're not going to wind up like Malcolm X.
That's what you just said. That's what you just said. Verbatim. You said you'll wind up like Malcolm X. What do you mean?
I mean that you'll probably get assassinated by the
Okay, meet Mr. Click. You're done. No, thank you. I'll pass. Let's go to Josie, Staten Island, talking about people being assassinated. And even if I was, I'm still not going to shut up. And you shouldn't make comments like that, considering that the man was sitting in the chair I'm sitting in right now was Charlie Kirk on this same network, and we see what happened to Charlie Kirk. So you shouldn't be making comments about assassinations. Josie, line 5, Staten Island. What's on your mind?
Absolutely, you're correct, Dominic. Absolutely. My question is, these fellows who are in the prison in New Jersey, they're all illegals, and they committed all these crimes. So since they're illegals and they have these crimes against them, why aren't they being deported?
That's my point, Josie. I could give a rat's ass, to be honest with you. I hope, Carlos, I can say that. Can I say that, Carlos? Okay, I'm good. You're not turning red, reaching for your beep button to beep me out. Josie, I'm sorry. I care about Americans. I don't care about somebody that snuck in the country, pimping Americans, taking benefits that Americans are entitled to, and you got these guys whining and the women talking about allegedly they're not getting feminine hygiene products. That's not my problem. I'm sorry. You shouldn't have came here. You should have stayed where you were at. Go ahead, Josie.
Dominic, please don't bang your head on the desk anymore. Please calm down. And I agree with you 100%. I agree with you 100%.
You got me to like. No, Josie. You know, we've had someone that sits in this chair assassinated, and this guy's gonna call up talking about you'll be like Malcolm X. And I knew what he meant, but I was trying to give him rope to back up, and he didn't back up. So we take things like that very seriously around here. That's why management has former retired FBI agents on staff here, and retired them to make sure that we're all safe. This is serious business what we do. Josie, thank you. I'm not going to beat my head on the table. I'm not going to do it. But I do need a Big Mac today. No, Carlos? No Big Mac? Well, how about hold the pickles, hold the lettuce, special orders, can't have that either? Burger King can't have Whopper?
Maybe Friday.
Maybe Friday. Well, I can tell you this, folks. Join the Tunnel to Towers Foundation on its mission to do good in honor of America's heroes. Donate $11 a month and amplify your impact with a car or land donation. Go to T2T.org. T2T.org. I am back live at midnight.
Thanks for listening to The Dominic Carter Show. You can hear The Dominic Carter Show weekdays at 3 p.m. and Monday through Thursday at midnight and Sunday starting at 11 p.m. on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?